Baby girl, do you know what time it is? It's time to decenter men. Do you find yourself obsessing over a very average man more than you would like to admit? Do you find yourself up late at night wondering why that unemployed man won't text you back? I mean, what else is he doing? He doesn't have a job. Or do you find yourself constantly getting into toxic relationships that all feel too eerily similar to each other? If you feel like I was just describing your life, then lucky for you, because today is a video that I think will help you all, and also just all women in general of all ages, to help you decenter men from your life. Hi everyone, I'm Caitlin Georgia and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I will be talking about the huge issue with women centering their whole lives around men, and also how to stop and break that cycle. Believe it or not, I haven't always been a super confident, man-hating baddie. It definitely took some trauma to get me to where I am today, and I really want to share my experience with you guys and some tips if I can. So let's just get straight to the video. Us women are brought up on a complete fairy tale, okay? And that is no lie. We grow up watching Disney, we grow up hearing these beautiful romantic stories from our mothers and our grandmothers, but the truth is, we don't hear the real story, we don't see the whole truth. There's a much bigger picture behind it. It is literally instilled in our minds from as early on as I personally can remember what our roles are as women and what our purpose on this earth is. And if you did grow up anything like me, then that purpose is literally being a mother and having a family and ultimately using your life to serve others. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with motherhood or wanting to be a mother. Mothers are amazing, they are strong, they are willful, they are just incredible humans, and I don't know how they do it. And I mean that especially due to the society that we live in today. Because in today's world, you are not only expected to be a mother, but you are expected to take on every other task there is. And no, I'm not just referring to cooking and cleaning, even though those are complete jobs actually that people get paid thousands of dollars for. I am specifically referring to being in the workforce as well. Not only are you a mother, a cook, a cleaner, all of the above, all the other little tiny roles that you have to take on as a mother and as a woman in a household with a man, you are also expected to work, and not only expected, but in the economy today, you have to. That is the sad reality of today, unless you are married to Mr. Macho Man Chad, which is pretty unrealistic, and I would say the majority of women are not. Now, today's video is not about motherhood, but it definitely does correlate with today's topic in the way how motherhood affects both parties. Both parties referring to the woman and the man who have a child together, have a home together, and are in a marriage together. Because as the woman, you take on 100 new roles and responsibilities, and as for the man, your life kind of stays the same. Truly, the list goes on and on and on for negatives on the woman's side, while the man only benefits. And we can bring that exact concept into modern dating, where in the dating pool today, men are investing so very little in these relationships, while women are pouring their entire selves into them, leaving a lot of these women without a personal identity because they so strongly center their whole lives around men. They are not thinking of themselves. They are not thinking about what they want or what they like or their hobbies or interests. They never even develop them. When you are taught from such a young age that your sole purpose in this world is to serve men and to live for men, then that is all you will ever do. So a lot of these women grow up without even exploring life or figuring out who they are. They leave themselves blank as perfect blank canvases, and they let the men choose. They let the men in their lives decide what roles they're going to take over and who they are going to be. And that is what they think is right. The sad part is that it is so easy to fall into this mess because this is what we are fed as women, okay? This is what we are taught, this is what society wants for us, and of course, this is what the patriarchy wants for us. And you know what? I do blame our mothers, I blame our grandmothers and great-grandmothers for continuing to feed young women this lie. Because we've all heard the beautiful love stories and fairy tales about love and relationships. We hear it so much that it consumes us, and we start to romanticize even the bad. Pain is being sold to us, young woman, because it is wrapped up in a pretty pink bow, and our mothers are telling us, oh, you know what, at the end of the day, it's so worth it because at least we're not alone. But right there is what I think so many girls don't understand. We are literally taught that our biggest fear should be being alone at the end of the day, being the crazy cat lady, not having a husband, not having someone to come home to. But let me tell you, that shouldn't be your biggest fear. And that is not the worst out there, okay? You want to know something scarier than being alone? Being in a toxic relationship, not being able to get out, being in an abusive relationship, having kids with someone, and being stuck with them forever. Those are the real horrors that you should fear as a woman, okay? Being killed by your spouse. That's terrifying, okay? Not having a date on Friday night, you'll live, okay? You'll move on. You'll get past it. I don't want this video to be confused and just mixed in with a whole bunch of other content about hating men because that is not it. This video is specifically for empowering women to figure out who they are and to finally live their dream life. Because you don't need to wait for a man to start living your dream life, okay? It can start right now. It can start this second, okay? The second you start putting into yourself and stop pouring everything into other people, the second you look at yourself and you make yourself the most important person in your life, because truly, that is how it should be. And yes, it is so insanely important to go through this life and build experience and try new things and meet people and have friendships and relationships. But the most important relationship that you should always keep as a priority is your relationship with yourself, okay? You are number one. You should be the most important person in your life, okay? Never, never let anyone else come above you. And I've noticed a really unfortunate pattern with straight relationships between a man and a woman where I see the woman giving and giving and giving, but not really receiving much in return from the man. And these one-sided relationships can be so insanely toxic and draining for the woman involved in them. And I see posts on social media all the time proving my exact point without these people even really knowing that they're doing so. I mean, they post these photos and videos with like light-hearted intent, you know, just silly joking around. But truly, it does prove my point even more and more about how women are being drained in these relationships, because I'll see how they'll be like, oh, boyfriend air, and oh, like this was me before I started dating my boyfriend, and they're looking beautiful and vibrant and healthy, and then months later either they've gained a lot of weight, either they've lost too much weight, and you can so clearly see that these women are no longer looking like the best versions of themselves or feeling like the best versions of themselves. But then you'll see the opposite in posts made about the man being like, oh, this was him before the relationship and this is him after, and he got the boyfriend glow up and like the girlfriend glow up about how, you know, when you're in a relationship with a girl, you just look better and you start taking care of yourself more and you just are a completely new man. And I'm just like, wow, where is the fair trade here, okay? Because it clearly shows, you know, these women getting in relationships with men, you know, they're feeling great about themselves, they're feeling confident, this is why the man wants them, you know, they see them at this super high peak and they want the woman, and then they get with the woman and then she goes down. While, you know, women, you know, our hearts are too big, okay? Honestly, it's a problem. We need to be more selfish. We need to be more picky, okay? More picky choosy with the men we are with. Please, I'm begging some of you girls, okay? I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, okay? And I'm looking at me too. Us big-hearted women, okay, we can see a man who, you know, maybe he's not all that, but he's got some potential, and you know, when you close this eye and you look at him through an angle, you know, he can be really cute, okay? So us women get with these men who maybe don't have it all but have potential, we think, and they get with them, and then these men slowly start to go up, you know, they get more attractive, or their career gets better and they invest in themselves more because they have a little cheerleader to help them. And another really sad but unfortunately common pattern with these men having, you know, the girlfriend glow up is usually when they, you know, rise up and, you know, climb the ladder a bit and turn into more of a high value man. They leave the girl that they were with before. They leave the girl that, you know, helped them get up there. They left her, you know, the girl that saw him at his lowest and, you know, wanted the best for him and gave him a chance. He doesn't want her anymore because now his ego is up to here, now his confidence is up to here, and he thinks he can do better. So, bye. And that is where I want to add that there is truly no benefit in giving these musty-ass guys a chance, okay? Do you think they would do the same for you? They are not taught to give all these people second chances and third chances and fourth chances. They are not taught to see the beauty and the ugly and, give everyone the time of day, okay? They are not taught that. Men are taught to be selfish with their lives, okay? They are taught to go after what they want and not take no for an answer. And this is what some of you women need to pick up on, okay? Because you are not putting that same energy into yourself, okay? You are not putting the same energy that you put into that man with, his 100-second chance, okay? You are not putting literally half of that energy into yourself, in your career, in your life, in your hopes and dreams. Please, for the love of God, stop investing so much time into that musty rat and start investing time in yourself and into your future. I promise you, once you open your eyes and really see what you are capable of, you will never look back, okay? You will never give these guys the time of day again. You will be so focused on yourself and bettering yourself that these little things won't bother you anymore, okay? You want to know the reason that him not texting you back in time is driving you insane and that you're constantly thinking, oh, if he's talking to other people, blah, 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 is because you have nothing else going on, okay? That is everything to you. That is your whole life. You have way too much time on your hands, and that is a huge issue. If you were really focused on yourself and your future, then you genuinely wouldn't have time for this kind of bullshit, okay? You need to stop chasing dick and get a fucking hobby, okay? It will change your life. Do you think these men are wasting time in their bed all day thinking about, oh, why didn't she text me back in time? And what is she doing right now? Is she with another guy? Is she blah, 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 blah? Like, are we gonna be together? Are we gonna have babies? Oh my God, no! No, okay? And not that they don't want those things, not that they don't want a relationship, but simply just because they're not built like that, okay? They're not whining, thinking about this. They're not centering their whole lives around us, okay? Yes, some men want a future, they want girlfriends, they want those benefits, but they don't really make their whole life about it. And at the same time, they are literally taught that they will attract those things if they're on their shit, if they have a good career, if they have something going for them. So that would motivate them more to get their shit together. So if they want that, they're probably more likely to be building something for themselves and to be focused on their dreams in life. While the women who also want those things are sitting at home in their room, in their bed, hoping that one day their knight in shining armor is going to knock on their door and save them and bring them to the castle and have tons of babies and blah, 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 blah. It's not happening. It's not going to happen. No one's coming to save you. Get your shit together. Us humans are meant to create, okay? You need to find your passion because you have all this energy inside you, this creative energy, and it needs a source to pour into, okay? If not, then it is just bubbling inside you and it is trying to find something somewhere to go, okay? Because it's stuck, it's stagnant inside you, and that's not okay, okay? Our bodies don't like it, our bodies will reject it, and that is why I think so many women get addicted to these toxic relationships and toxic dynamics in their life, because this energy needs somewhere to go and needs something to invest in, and just these happy, normal, boring relationships won't cut it for you if you have nothing else going on. And I think that is why so many women are attracted, truly attracted to toxicity. Us humans are living beings, okay? We are forever changing, we are forever evolving. We can't just stay still and do nothing all the time, okay? We need something to work for. And that is what these relationships are for these women, okay? Because there's so much working to do. Truly, there is so much work to be done because they are so toxic, they are so dysfunctional that it requires so much work. The dysfunction and toxicity literally gives your brain something to do. It gives your brain something to focus on and somewhere to pour that energy into because it's not going anywhere else with your bum ass. So now you're up late at night thinking, oh, what's wrong with Jeremy? Like, what happened for his childhood that made him like this? How do I fix him? How do I save him? No! No, stop it. Stop it right now. Please, please. There's no saving him. Okay? There's no saving him, okay? That's far gone, okay? The ship has sailed. Now it's time to save yourself. And nowhere in this video do I claim to be perfect. The only reason I have the knowledge I do on this subject is because I've been that girl, okay? I've been stressed about a Jeremy too, okay? I've been stuck in these really toxic relationship patterns and dynamics and just too focused on everything else around me as a distraction from what I really want because I don't want to face the fact that, I'm not pouring my energy into myself and I'm using all these things around me as distractions because I don't want to admit that I really am wasting my own time. It's like a distraction for your brain, but it can also be used as an excuse for yourself to save your ego, because if you are pouring all of that energy into a man hoping he'll change, etc., etc., and he doesn't and he's still the same way, then at the end of the day, you can just blame him and move on, okay? That's not your problem. But if you were to invest that energy into yourself and, let's say, take a chance and follow your dreams and it doesn't exactly go the way that you wanted it to, then that sucks for you. Now your ego's hurt, now you have no one to blame, and you finally have to take accountability. I am passionate about helping women find themselves and really start chasing their hopes and dreams and realizing that you can do it without a man, because you don't need a man, truly. I mean, they're nice accessories sometimes, but you don't need them, okay? It makes me feel good putting this video out there because me personally, I know that I would live with so much regret if I continued down a path in a life of performing and living for other people and ultimately centering my whole life around men and what they want for me. Like I said before, you only have one life, okay? Make it count. Do what you want to do, okay? Live for yourself. That's what I'm going to do, and that's what I hope you do as well. No matter what anyone has told you in the past, you are so, so powerful. You can do hard things. You can achieve hard things. I believe in you, and I hope that you can learn to believe in yourself as well. Thank you all so, so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love you all. Bye!